Hello, everybody, and welcome to Niner Pippa Radio's post-game show. I am your host, Jaymie, and I'm just here to talk about the Niners and Steelers game in Week 1 of the NFL season of the 2023-2024 NFL season. So, I do have some stats here. First, let me see. I want to get the full score. Let's go here first. All right. Need that. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if you guys heard that or not. Um, anyway, let's see. I'm trying to get all the scores. How do I make this terribly? Okay, so the final score for 49ers to Steelers was 7 Steelers, 30 49ers. 49ers came out victorious. There's a few things I want to talk about. But first, we got some comments. Raphael is here. I believe that is how you pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing anybody's names wrong, please let me know. Sometimes I'm really terrible at that, especially if I haven't seen the name before. But yeah. First off, first thing I want to do. I was pretty shocked at how complete. Like I knew we like. I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't expect our offense to come out and be that in sync like right away and have Purdy. No problem, dude. Thank you for joining and thank you for all of the support. And yes, Moody did do a great job. I will be talking about. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go offense and then defense. I'm going to kind of split it up like that, and then talk a little bit about special teams a little bit, mostly our kicker. Wait, are you talking about which Moody are you talking about? Are you talking about our kicker or are you talking about our corner? Which one? Because isn't it a nickname for one of our corners? Or maybe I'm getting it mixed up. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, guys. I just got off work literally like 20 minutes ago. So if I'm a little bit out of it, that's why. Anyway, and Brian is here too. It's good to see you too, Brian. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. But yeah, anyway, regrouping. Okay. Gotcha, Raphael. I will talk about it in just a few minutes. I'm going to do offense first, and I'm going to do defense, if that's cool with you guys. So sticking with, if you have any questions about offense, please put them in the chat, and I will talk about them. I'm going to try to split it up like that. First off, our offense in the first half looked really, 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 really good. I was quite surprised about how in sync everybody was, because normally, like, what's been the case the last 2 years is we are very slow starters. So I was kind of anticipating the same thing this year, but everybody looked at exactly the same pace. Looked like nobody missed a step. Brandon Ayuk had an insane game today. That second touchdown, I love the first touchdown. Don't get me wrong, that was perfect. That second touchdown was impressive. Getting his feet in, getting that ball, and that over-the-shoulder catch in super tight coverage was awesome. Ayuk, to me, was the player to get. I kind of agree. He was everywhere. He was explosive. He was definitely Purdy's like number one target that whole game. Because he was just nobody. He was like kind of almost unstoppable that whole game, which to me was pretty impressive. Let's see. Second touchdown was something we haven't seen in a while. That is true. We don't see those normal kind of touchdowns, and the fact that I don't know if Purdy could have put it in any better kind of spot. To be honest with you guys, I know he doesn't have the craziest arm, but his accuracy, I think, is going to make up for that fact. So, but no, Ayuk definitely was the highlight to me. He was everywhere. He was doing crazy things. Debo had some pretty solid catches too. He was like Debo was there, and he did a few really good things. I think. I think Debo's still working his way back up from his second season slump kind of thing. So he's still working on it. But yeah, Kittle didn't really do very much, and I have a feeling that was probably maybe because of his injury, so he kind of wasn't factored in too much. But honestly, I think Kittle is still Kittle. He's still got a couple touches here and there, and he did good. The Ayuk block on the Christian McCaffrey touchdown was great. Also, I haven't even mentioned Christian McCaffrey. He was over 100 yards rushing this game. He was insane. He was everywhere. He had the touchdown. He was fantastic. I still can't believe we traded for him last season. It's wild. I think he fits into this offense so well. And yeah, the Ayuk and oh man, I forgot who the other player was. There's another player who was blocking. Two of them are running up. And I think that's what's so cool about our offense and our guys and our team in general is that they go that little extra mile and do those kind of things. And I think it's pretty awesome and whatnot. So I think that's really, 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 really cool. Yeah, I mean, the offense did slow down a little bit in the second half, but yeah, thoughts on the O line. So I don't know if I talked about this too much. I kind of hinted at it. The O line has been a little bit of a concern, mostly the right side, because we lost McGlinchey and then Colton McKivitz, I think is how you say it, in his place, and forgot who our right guard is. But like, it's not like on the left side where we have Trent Williams and stuff, and we feel a little bit more comfortable, you know. Just a lot of young guys, and you know, it's got to see what kind of happens. And McKivitz struggled against TJ Watt quite a bit, I feel like, but I don't know, like I think it's still going to be a problem, but I don't like the fact that we were still able to overcome that, and we still won the game. I think is great, but I do think like I am worried that teams are going to see that and kind of like find that as a weakness and try to exploit that. That's more of my worry. And I know that McKivitz probably will improve the more he plays. So like, hopefully. So we'll just have to see. But I mean, even if he gets as solid as McGlinchey was, I mean, like McGlinchey wasn't perfect and he had his ups and downs, but like, it was like, and it was sometimes his downs are pretty bad, but I don't think it was that bad. Do any of you guys have any thoughts on O line? I think that's definitely one of our weaker spots. In that case, what do you guys think? If you guys have any thoughts, you can put them in the comments. But I mean, yeah, like the offense was clicking today, which I feel like none of us were kind of expecting. And I haven't even talked about Purdy yet, but Purdy was very, very, very solid today. Played very, very well. He played like 2017 Jaymie. Raphael. Right tackle did his best job. I think that, yeah. And I think you have to, like, going against TJ Watt is no easy feat. You know, it's not easy to do. So I think he did play his best. TJ Watt is a fantastic player. So, like, I don't think any of us were surprised that he struggled against TJ Watt. So, I mean, it is what it is, you know? Like, though he did his best, you know? And I think we just got to see moving forward. And hopefully he just improves if that's the issue. So, yeah. Purdy, like I said earlier, Purdy played exceptionally well. What was their MVP guy as a stud? Yeah, I agree with that. And also, that was my biggest worry is TJ Watt. But even though he had his plays and he had his moments, we were still able to pull out the victory and we were still able to win. And stuff. So I think that's pretty awesome. Purdy played very well. I think he played very similar to yes, we will talk about that in just a second. to 2017 Jaymie. I get the same kind of feeling. I don't know what it is about Purdy, but I think Purdy gets this offense in a way some of the other quarterbacks we have hadn't. I don't know if he just understands what has a similar mindset and gets what Kyle wants to do. Because I feel like that's where Purdy is excelling. Is the offense is just clicking in his head for him, and he knows where to go and stuff like that. I don't know. I get that feeling. But he played very well. He did make Peterson eat his words because Peterson did not get an interception, and Peterson got cooked on 2 touchdowns, both by Ayuk, and by Ayuk pretty much mossed him on that second touchdown. So yeah, Peterson did not have a good day today. Yeah. So Ayuk cooked him? Exactly. He did. Like we already talked about Ayuk, but yeah, I think Purdy did a lot of good things. He looks exactly like he did last season, which I think I'm a little bit shell shocked because we're so used to not seeing that. So the fact that he came out and looked like he was still the exact same dude from last season is kind of crazy. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens, guys. We're just going to be on the Brock Purdy ride. But the one thing I want to do is we need to find out, like, because I feel like Ayuk is going to be his main target, his main dude. We need to figure out some sort of, like, nickname or some sort of calling for Brock Purdy to Ayuk. We need to find something like that, like a nickname or some sort of saying, because I feel like that's going to be a huge thing this season and whatnot, because I got that vibe this game. Here we got our girl Kim. We are firing on all cylinders today. Yes, we were. I think that's the biggest thing is offensively, we played really well. Defensively, we were really, really good for the most part. And then special teams, we were pretty solid too. So, like, we were good in all 3 phases, and that's how you are a very, very dominant football team. So I feel like that is huge for us moving forward. Yeah, anything else on the offense before I start moving on to some defensive playing and talking? Any last minute offense questions? If not, I will move on to defense. So for defense, man. So Nick Bosa was back. He played almost 40 snaps. I think he played like 30-something snaps. Well, he didn't. I don't think he recorded a sack today. I can't remember, but he still played. He was still out there. The defense is still super fired up. The one thing that I heard mentioned on another show that I cannot remember the name of right now, I might have been 49er Carrots podcast, maybe. I can't remember the name. But somebody on another 49ers content creator show mentioned this. Or maybe it was a podcast. I'll have to find it. But the defensive line was getting pressure with just they were so consistently getting pressure up the front, like consistently. Like the Steelers quarterback Pickett's, I cannot speak, was having a hell of a first half. He was not being able to do anything. They held the Steelers to, I think, 1 positive yard of offense until deep into the second quarter of the game. Armstead did great today. He really is. Armstead is fantastic, and I think he's a little bit. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves all the time, but he's always great, and he's also such a big dude. It's so easy, like watching the defensive line just collapse the pocket and then just letting everybody in the back had do what they need to do. Like Fred Warner had some great plays as always, so good. Our corners played really, really well. Javarius Ward had a interception. Hufanga had a tipped interception. Like, our defense was just playing lights out. They did let up a little bit in the second half, which is not great, but it is what it is. I wasn't happy about it, but I feel like that was it's something that I'm used to happening now. Dre Jackson had 3 sacks? Yes, he did. He played really good today. I don't know. I think somebody said that I can't remember. Maybe it was Cohen. Can't remember who it was. But he just has the benefit of like when you have all these really good, solid defensive linemen, like, and especially like if you're interior, you can just like push the quarterback kind of into the other guys, and that's what I feel like what happened a little bit. But he looked really good too. He was capitalizing on his opportunities, and he did great. It was really awesome. This whole thing. But yeah, I mean, the defense I think played really well. Slowed down a little bit in the second half, but yeah, I was just not expecting everybody to play as well as they did. Pickett wasn't getting anywhere today. Hufanga and Warner did really good today. Yes, they did. Yes, they really did. Yeah, the Pickett really had nowhere to really go, like, at all, and it was kind of crazy. But no, they played really well. The offense did. Like everybody showed up today. Yeah, and our kicker Moody was perfect on all his field goals today and his extra points, so he played really well as well. And stuff. So that's good to see. And special teams played really solid. There's no huge returns. There's like a couple like 30 like to the 30-yard line, but nothing too crazy. And the defense was able to hold off Pittsburgh pretty well. So, but yeah, like it was just really good. I don't know if any of you guys were as surprised. Like I had faith that this team was going to be good, but I'm so used to the team starting off a little bit slow that I was not expecting anything like looking so dominant straight off the gate like we did today, which I think was awesome. But yeah, it was a really good game. Do any of you guys have any other questions or any other comments? Then I can go over a few stats real quick, and then I will see if we have any other comments, and if not, I will wrap it up. I don't think these post-game shows are going to be super long, guys. I hope you guys don't mind. But I'm going to try not to repeat stuff too much. So, all right, let's see. Game details. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. All right. Let me show this. Here we go. Let us see. So I can go over some stats. So here we go for the 49ers stats. We have Brock Purdy was 19 of 29, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. And passing for rushing, we have Christian McCaffrey was 22 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown. About 6.9 yards an average a carry. Purdy scrambled a few times. He had 3 carries for 20 yards. Elijah Mitchell had 5 carries for 10 yards. Debo had 2 carries for 8 yards, and Sam Darnold had 2 carries for -2 yards. All right, and for receiving, Brandon Ayuk 8 receptions, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Debo 5 receptions, 55 yards. Kittle 3 receptions for 19. McCaffrey 3 for 17, and then nothing for Jennings or Mitchell. Brock Purdy had 2 fumbles, lost 1. McCaffrey had 1 fumble. Interceptions, Hufanga had 1. Travarius Ward had 1 interception. And then for defense, Drake Jackson had 3 sacks. Javon Hargrave had 1, and then Kerry Hyder had 1, and I think that's it. Jake Moody was 3 for 3 on field goals. His longest was 41, and he hit all his extra points. And then that's pretty much it on the 49ers side. Let's look at Pittsburgh. Let's see. Steelers. Okay, Pickett was 31 for 46 for 232 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. For rushing, Najee Harris was 6 carries for 31 yards. Jaylen Warren, 3 carries, 6 yards. Kenny Pickett was 1 carry for 4 yards. Let's see this real quick. Kim also has another comment that I'm trying to pull up. There you go. Purdy was very confident. He really was. He really, really was. I was pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. Allen Robinson was 5 receptions for 64 yards. Deontay Johnson was 3 receptions for 48. Calvin Austin 6 for 37. George Pickens 5 for 36. Connor Hayward 2 for 19. Jaylen Warren 5 for 12. Anthony McFarland 2 for 11. And Pat, I don't know how to say that last name, Freemuth was 1 reception for 3 yards. And Najee Harris 2 receptions for 2 yards. Fumbles, Cole Holcomb was forced 1 fumble. TJ Watt forced 2. Not seeing any interceptions really that are recorded. Let's see. TJ Watt had 3 sacks. It looks like that's it for that. Yeah. It looks like Anthony McFarland had an average as longest was 34 for a punt return, for a kickoff return. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the stats, guys, for the most part. So, I mean, I think we played really, really well today. I think it was pretty exciting. So it was pretty awesome to see, very encouraging. And yeah, I thought it was pretty exciting. So any other comments or anything before I let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your evening? Just let me know. But yeah, Purdy was the most surprising. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I've always really hoped Purdy was going to be as good as he looked. But I think we've just been through so much with quarterbacks. It's very hard, you know? I try not to get too overly excited. And especially with his elbow injury, we still had he's been cleared and he's been playing, but you just never know. So it was very awesome to see him look just as good as he did last season and play just as well. And now with a full off season with the guys and everything, and having that last season with them too, I think it's helped their chemistry. He obviously has a really good rapport with Ayuk and with the offense. So I think it's just going to be exciting to keep going. Raphael says, hope we continue this momentum for next week against the Rams. Agreed. I really do hope so too. I think the Rams are probably going to be a much more difficult opponent, so it'll be interesting to see us play them. But I'm pretty excited. This game has me pumped. It was an awesome game. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So I have one more thing I got to show you. We got a little ad to show you if you guys don't mind sticking around. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. I think it's this one. All right. We do have this ad. So if you listen to the end of the show, we have a code for 20% off if you want to support the show and go to our NFL.com to our shop. Help support the show, help support the podcast and all that fun stuff. It's pretty awesome. So we have this Niner Pippa Radio. If you shop our affiliate link at shop49ers.com, there's be a link in the description in this video and if you listen to the audio version, there's that too. It's huge for us, and just great exposure for us as well. We also have Seat Giant. If you use that, if you use promo code Niner Radio, you can save on all your theater, concert, and sporting events tickets, as well as help the show. So if you use that, that's awesome as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us. We're at NinerFearForRadio.com. If you go to our website, you can find all of our spots on there as well. That's always a great way to support the show and everything like that. And I have a list of all of our social media. So on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, we are at Niner Fearful Radio. And then on Twitter, we're at Niner Fearful R, because I think Twitter has a shorter character length for that as well. But yeah, all of these are a great way to support the show. We're trying really hard to grow the show. We're also keeping an eye on a lot of our other shows, especially our Friday weekly recap shows. So, because Jason and I are trying to do some fun stuff with that as well. And our main show, as always, on Tuesdays in the afternoon. Definitely check that out. Our main guy, Niner Fearful Radio, and Jason do an awesome job on that show as well. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it, guys. You guys have a great night. Enjoy the Victory Monday tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And welcome back, football. Welcome back to the NFL season. And I think it's going to be a great season. And I think it's going to be an exciting season. So I will see you guys after the game next week. Bye, guys. Have a good night. And as always, go Niners.